Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They're led out by their Pro Bowl quarterback in his 4th season from Wyoming, Josh Allen.
And in this league, there are many quarterbacks who have their most success running the ball, while there are others who have big arms. There aren't too many guys who can do both. And at the end of many games, this guy leads his team not just in passing, but in rushing as well.
Right there, 54 Mike.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
Mike 5
First carry for Josh Jacobs. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down. This defense for the Broncos, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
They'll go down as a gain of 6, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Try to run for it with Jacobs. And Jacobs, I don't think is going to get there. No, it appears they're going to mark him short of the first. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. They'll be led out by a 7-time Pro Bowl quarterback in his 10th NFL season now. That's Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
A handoff to Barkley on the option. He'll get this up to the 34, and a good lane opening up right away for him. Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. Flush to his right.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago. They're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
And defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, as he can really impact this offense. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Now Wilson. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. A field goal try forthcoming now for the Broncos. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
He was not the primary target. They expected to get the ball downfield, instead checked it down. An old coach of mine used to say to us all the time, when they check it down, that should end the down. In this case, though, he foiled that in a big way and turned it into a big play.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. To throw, it's Allen. Over the middle, he gets it to Collins. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often. I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Operating from the red zone now. Allen. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate, drops it. And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
They'll run it with Jacobs. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. He'll step aside. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Here we go, 57, Mike, 57.
Here's Allen to throw it. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Robert Quinn in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
On 3rd and goal, Howard. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Looking at this situation, if you're at the 1, the 2, maybe you go for it. From here, you kick it.
I agree. I think you have to get points in this situation. 4th down, I don't chance it at all. I put the points on the board and go back and regroup.
And he'll try and throw here on the fake. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise. And the Browns have taken the lead. Extra point forthcoming. And this is up and going to make it 7-3. A 10-play drive that time. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Now to return, this is David Johnson. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
Second down, here's Barkley again. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. Here's Wilson. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. A handoff to Barkley, and he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? They go play action now. Wilson. They'll roll him out right. And he will find his man Samuel. Touchdown! Deebo Samuel. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos have retaken the lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead is now 10-7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Allen. Open man. That's the tight end, Freiermuth. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll try and run for the first with Stevenson. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Back to Stevenson on first down. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage. On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they've got the lead right now, beginning this drive 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And Ty Montgomery has it complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7 our score. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Samuel bringing in the slant. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. First down carry for Barkley. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. They're going to hurry back to the line now. To throw on 2nd and 6. Wilson. And brought in by the tight end Cook. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Wilson. He's got it. Touchdown, Broncos. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Broncos will extend their lead. Butker now to add the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Browns now going to take over late in this first half. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Dumps that off to his running back, Jordan Howard. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll bring up a second down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on third down, and they keep the drive going.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Allen going to throw. They'll set up the screen to Howard. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Throwing is Allen on third. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. It may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Wilson escaping the pressure right. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Mike 20, Mike 20, Mike 20.
Now Wilson.
You.
And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
On 2nd and 10, Wilson winds up and lets it go for Samuel. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it, and the Browns are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll get back with you shortly. But first, let's take a look at what's coming up this weekend around the NFL. As far as the early games go in that 1 o'clock window, we'll be focused on that game in Nashville. A big one for the Titans, as they'll have to do battle with the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. In the late afternoon games, all eyes will be on Las Vegas. A glitzy matchup there, where it'll be the Raiders taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Then, on Sunday night, the Niners making their second appearance of the year on Sunday night. This time,
the second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. Johnson now returning. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll go to Barkley again, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Rolling to his right. That'll be complete to Cook. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48.
And that's a tough one for the defense because the coverage was good downfield. He was forced to work his way out of the pocket to his right, spotted his man on the sideline, and got it to him to pick up the first down on 3rd down.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Well, Charles, something we talked about last week, when you start believing whether you're in the midst of a special season or not. Well, now they're at 6-0. Are you still trying to tamp down the expectations in that locker room?
Well, to me, it's less about tamping down expectations and much more about not getting ahead of yourself as a team. And look, they got to play each game individually, right? Many teams talk about being 1-0 at the end of each and every game each week. To me, you got to understand you cannot win the Super Bowl in October.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
Dillon now on 1st and 10. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Dillon now off the option. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Well, lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They go play action with Wilson. He'll buy some time right. And this is Cook with the grab. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Broncos take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 7. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter.
We got three, fellas. We got 3.
They'll run with Stevenson to begin the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And he's he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play. I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
And now they'll throw with Allen. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Wiggles free, and he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
From the 35 on second down, Wilson looking for Beasley, got him on his slant, and he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Here's Wilson to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And the Broncos are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. David Johnson. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. Extra point by Butker is on target. And the lead is now 24. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's David Johnson who provides the capper as he scores on the touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be 4th down. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now Allen, got to have this one. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Throwing on first down is Allen. He'll get this underneath to Stevenson. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be second down. Allen to throw once more. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it second down. Now Allen. He leaves this one for Howard. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. Allen now on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
Stevenson. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very...
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Jordan Howard, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns get a score closer. So Allen breaks the huddle, and his guys will go for 2 here. Allen will try to throw for it. That's caught at the 1.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. Just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
On first down, Dillon. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
57 yards rushing for him now. He's carried the ball just 5 times.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Dillon now off the option. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. His 7th touchdown on the ground and 9th overall. And the Broncos add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Butker on for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it was A.J. Dillon who capped it off with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. Cleveland offense making their way out. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Let's go, baby.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. There's Manhurts, the tight end. He will go out right near the 35-yard line.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Now Allen again. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Allen going to try and throw on 3rd down. He completes it to Boyd. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Let him know. Let him know. Let him know.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Allen, this is caught. And he's brought down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
Here we go.
And again, it's Allen. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. Here's 2nd and goal. Here's Allen. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Facing this 4th quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock, they know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Watch his flag. Watch his flag.
They run once more with Dillon. before they're able to get it up to the 25. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call.
Let's go, D, let's go.
They'll run on first down. Dillon. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So this one will wind up a Denver victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for Denver, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0.